Yeah.
Okay, so Seca, I've never seen this brand before, but it was launched in the Philippines previously. The second Seca that I found here is here in Singapore
Yeah.
under this gentleman over here. Your name is?
My name is Dexter. Yeah.
Dexter. Hey, Dexter, welcome home. Well, welcome. So we're gonna start that, okay? Let's see if we can do something. Tank, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
After the so after today's biomechanics, we're gonna be going to Selatar to do some testing, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so those legs are gonna be used for sometime trying later. So Dexter has been a, you could say, a subscriber for.
Oh, really long, man.
How long have you been watching CRZ?
I first came across a channel in January 19. Why so specific? Because that was the day I actually went to a bike feeder itself, and I'm like, okay, there need to be change done, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do over here is that we're trying to analyze the way Dexter is using his muscles. So bike fit is one thing, right?
Yep.
Bike fit is adjusting the bike, but the other major story is how do you use your muscles to propel yourself forward.
Yep.
And from here, I think Dexter finally realized that he could improve more just by looking at the way he's generating torque.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
He's moving around, squirming around, bobbing around, and this is very normal for a lot of our friends that we see climbing. So right now, you are testing your climbing posture, right?
Yeah.
And what are the major things that you've noticed when you were doing this test?
I never really used my inner thigh a lot before. Yeah, I always relies on quads, but I got to a point whereby I think I normalized the pain in the quads. You don't feel it anymore, but that's the wrong way. So you got a lot of power, yes, but you know, you can't keep riding like that.
That's
At
right.
some point, your body is going to be injured. Yeah.
That's correct. So the way we try to bike fit your bike is very specific to the way we will be riding. And we made sure that you understood that. So Seca is a beautiful bike, but sometimes, is this a climbing bike? Is this an aero bike? Is this a time trial bike? It doesn't matter. It has to be a bike that you can use for any terrain, supposedly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So the way we were changing the bike is to make you more efficient, and this is the result. After every bike fit, we have to make sure that the changes make a significant, tangible difference.
Yeah.
And when this specific phase right here, after changing the bike, we also have to start changing the posture of Dexter. So Dexter now has to adapt to the way the bike was changed. And the way we explain that to Dexter is that the way you adjust and modify the bike has to be very specific to the way you will be riding.
Correct. Yeah.
And our deal was we have to make you what? Proficient in
Speeding.
speed. So Dexter is a speed demon. And this scene here shows you the importance of the hood to the hand interface.
Yep.
A lot of people in the industry right now focuses on what group set you have to have, the shoes,
Saddle.
the saddle,
Ride like that, man.
all the weights that you can save.
all the
like
yeah, all the
crunching
weights
your
that you can
core,
save.
okay?
But nobody talks
Crunch
about the importance
those
of the
core
hand
muscles.
to the
Very
hood
good. So you're climbing now,
interface.
biggest ring, smallest
The
cog.
harmony of it.
Essentially a 12%
Correct.
grade climb.
Everything starts on how you hold the bike. So the way the biomechanical tuning program
Now,
works
let's
is we
just pretend
have
that we're
to
gonna be
modify
approaching a
where
switchback.
Dexter holds
You go on arrow,
the hoods,
same here.
the angle of the hoods,
Yep.
in relation to his unique physiology. His wrist has to be in contact in a very, very specific way.
Better.
Have you
The more
adjusted
that
your
you
bike before
relax
trying to
and
do
drop
this
your
before?
elbows
Yeah,
downwards,
a lot of
better.
A lot of times.
So much so that,
Good, that's it.
when you first felt it, that was
Okay,
how
you're
I feel the
climbing
most
now,
comfortable.
okay?
But the power
Very
wasn't
nice.
coming. You know.
Okay.
Stay on that posture.
So Dexter is
In a
one of
few
those
moments, you've been
really
climbing for
intellectual
30
individuals who
minutes.
really
You've been
research
climbing
everything.
for 30 minutes.
And one of the things that he's very well known for is that he
climbing for 30
carries an
minutes.
Allen wrench. So
Hold
if
on
you
to
can
that
relate
thumb.
to Dexter, you're one of those people. Carries an Allen wrench, adjusts here, adjusts there, still couldn't
Very
find
good form.
the
Very
right
good
moment.
form.
What we see here is that
Very good
finally
form.
we
So
were
now we're
able
getting
to
the best of both
analyze,
worlds. You can
figure
climb
out
and you
what's
can time
unique for
trial,
him,
okay?
and
Hold on to
finally, I can say finally, we found the right combination, the sweet spot. He can now hold the hoods and put his wrist at a very powerful position that instantly it engages your
Core. The core.
the core is where everything starts. Before this, we tested you you burned your quads.
Yeah.
Now look at this. You've been climbing for 30 minutes before this video came out, right? 30 minutes, and yet you can still time trial and you can sprint. And this is that powerful sprint.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Next position, okay? This one, you can feel it here. Just lifting up. Just lifting up. On my cue, when I say go, you have to really sprint, okay? By moving forward on the saddle, okay? It's going to be uncomfortable just for a bit. Okay, on my cue, in 5, 4, 3, set, move forward in the saddle. Set, go, go, go. 10, 9, 8, 4, 3, done. Relax. Straighten up, 2 fingers down. Start pedaling, lifting. You're back again, crunch your back. Good, that's it. I just want you to feel that power coming from here. And then this one not here, just drop. Yeah, just that, okay? And you're trying to really make this sit bone and this really go together. Good, there you go. Okay, pedal, just pedal. Yeah, I like this, okay? Because remember, you're still high speed. You're still following, okay? You're still following someone. Keep it going, keep it going. On my cue, you're just gonna add a little bit of torque again, okay? Same posture. You just have to grip it. 3, set, go, go, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Okay, relax. Okay, good. You're still chasing, okay? You're still chasing. Now when I say, Dexter, go to the front, you're gonna start time trialing. Go to the time trial mode. Time trial mode because you're gonna be in front. Okay? Right? Squeeze it. Yeah, there you go. So you're in front now. You're in front. You're time trialing. Just bring me 1 kilometer to go. Just 1 kilometer to go. Just 1 kilometer to go, okay? So the way you put your wrist there is very important. The way you hold the hoods is very important. The way you crunch your deltoids and your chest is very important. On my cue now, move forward in the saddle. Move forward. On my cue, lower elbows. Ready. Set. Sprint. 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Perfect. Good. Okay, wow. While we're doing that, you also drop this and you straighten this. There you go. There you go. It's like you're really making it like a spaghetti ball, okay? Very nice. Look forward. Good. And you are done. Done. Okay, get off the bike. That's after 10 minutes of climbing. Okay. But you felt that the quads are not as...
You feel you're moving here more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the power comes in efficiently. It's really more efficient now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So far so good.
More relaxed. Yeah, definitely
Okay.
way more relaxed.
In fact. There you go. Done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Seka. Singapore. Thanks, Tank.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay, so you're gonna be in front later, okay? Celatar test.
I got the first bike for my Seika.
Yeah.
I was recommended to take an XS, a really small size bike.
Did that scare you?
Not really, because I was going in blind. You know what I mean? It's my first road bike. No one told me exactly what to do. So we bought the pre-package.
Okay.
Let's go in. And they told me the height was the way to do it. Straight away, that is the way to do it. And to confirm myself, I did went to seek several consultations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right height for the right frame.
Right.
So once I got it itself, I knew something was wrong because I was leaning forward and was like struggling here and stuff. And I look at the rest of my peers, they were like, why are you guys riding so comfortably? Something's wrong, you know what I mean? But they say it's correct, everything's right, you're not used to it, you just got to train hard and things like that itself. So I'm like, nope, something's wrong.
So at any point in your mind, you're like, man, why is this going to be like this all the time? Am I going to suffer through all of this? What was your next step after you figured out that I was uncomfortable, I didn't like it? Where did you go from there?
So, we Singaporeans sometimes like to defend our investment. So I power through it. I powered through the pain for a month. Until one day when I went to climb, I'm like, okay, I can't. Because my knee literally, I heard a pop. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. I went to get a bike fitting help and things like that as well. I went through different bike fitter. All have a different concept, different theory of what happened, on why things should be done. So there are some that preach that, okay, it's all pattern efficiency.
Yep.
Some preach about the angle. Some preach about you use retool, the tool itself, the premium and stuff. And there are some that will be like, it's all about physio. We need to go to your physio and something like that. But the problem is that at the end of the day, bike fitter only can help you do this much because it's proven, the system is there, right? But they can't help you with pain. There's a limitation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Unless they write review, which I don't think they can do that, from a time perspective itself, they can't do that. Unless they write review, they see how you react in different situations, then they can better advise you.
I found in my own experience, I thought it was ironic that you're going to a bike fitter who initially is looking at you. You're under the impression that they're going to make this a very unique experience.
Correct.
But then what you find out is that this is a very textbook, masses built type experience.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to do this over and over and over and over again.
And quickly.
Right. And so you end up having this application that, well, hopefully we get it right, Because the other side of it is, a lot of times they're like, you can come back for unlimited refits. Well, I don't want to have to come back for unlimited refits. I want to get it done and get out there and start riding.
Because it costs time, it costs money, effort, and also, I went back like 4 to 5 refits. I'll be honest, I went through that.
Wow.
Each time I try, I'm like, doesn't make sense. It's still not right. You know what I mean? You get one end of the spectrum right, but the other is wrong. So I'm like, nope.
Well, and you shared with us earlier that you're in the marketing world, right?
Yep.
and you know what it's like to suggest where you want to end up, and you get that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how does that feel now? Well, is it a feel thing or is it right?
Right.
So now I'm telling you that there's a mechanical way to make this better, but I'm asking you how it feels.
Right.
That's subjective and emotional, right? So.
And adding to that, I'm a new rider. I'll be honest, I'm a very new rider. I'm not even a 1 year old in the road bike as of now.
Yeah.
So for someone to ask me, do you feel right? It's subjective. I can't tell you whether is it right because I'm going to tell you from my angle of a comfort. I'm not going to answer from my angle of performance.
Yeah. I'm so new. I don't know what I feel yet.
I don't want to feel. So as long as I don't feel pain, I'm right. But at some point when you start to go longer, start to go harder, and that's where everything kicks in. Like, okay, it's not right. Whatever I just told him yesterday, it doesn't seem to work out for now. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So
absolutely.
That question probably for like someone that's experienced like a couple of years.
Yeah.
But for me, that's only like 10 months old.
Yeah.
I can't answer that question.
So you go through the whole bike fitting experience. You go back for some refits, the only refits that we talk about all the time, and you still muscle through everything because, as you said, you're committed to your investment.
Yep.
You're also committed to your new sport, your new hobby, and eventually you come across CRZ.
Yep. Yeah. So one day I actually discovered CRZ it was a funny story because I was just researching on the internet. If you have lower back pain, what do you do? So I came across Neil Stanbury's video. Yeah. And there was one suggestion that kept popped up straight was CRZ. So I'm like, okay, let's take a look. Yeah. That was how the whole journey. I discovered, okay, that's interesting. But one video that caught my attention. I think back then you guys did a bike fit for a very senior rider. I think it's like 67 to 70 year old.
It's my Waterloo.
Your climbing is your Waterloo. Everyone has a story about day one. I'm with Tito Sam today.
Sam.
I'm gonna call you Sam.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Tito Sam, unfortunately, just flew in for the holidays, and he has to fly back in the States. And we just want to maximize his time over here. And you want to see who Sam is? Not Sam Milby. It's Sam. Okay, so Tito Sam's story is that he is 70 years old, and he said he's been watching some of the episodes.
Most of the episodes.
And what did your wife say?
How come you're always watching that?
How come you're always watching CRZ? So my deal with him is that we're gonna have a full weekend of apprenticeship. So he's gonna be racing with us. He's gonna be riding with us with Tom. And hopefully you're gonna be seeing him more on his first 1 hour episode on his transformation, because I think his number one problem is what? Climbing?
Yes, I'm having hard time climbing and running after the guys.
There you go. Okay, so his number one problem is climbing and always getting left behind. So we have this super secret episode that's going to be showing in January. Not now, but in January. So we're gonna transform him first. And if you're watching this episode now, this was day one here in Manila, here at Onward, where everything happens. And that's Tito Sam. Okay, he doesn't look like 70 years. When you see him bike, he's gonna look like early 30s. Okay? Okay, see you in a moment. I forgot, where are you from?
California.
Where in California?
Eagle Rock, California.
Eagle Rock. So, wow, I had good memories in California.
That transition to me changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Because if someone that old can perform, I'm only 35.
Yeah, I think the rider you're talking about, he's like 72 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So I know exactly what video you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't make sense because nothing was edited, it was real time,
Sure,
right? Because
sure.
because the commentary was there as to go along. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this guy's program for the entire library. I'm gonna watch and figure out what's so special.
And your experience is not dissimilar from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the video one night, sitting in bed, scratching my head, wondering how can I be a better climber? How can I not get left behind?
Yeah.
You know, being a physically strong guy, that was very hard for me to accept. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, what more can I do? And I watched a transformative video also
Yep.
of an older gentleman.
Yep.
And I was like, something has changed. This
Correct.
is where they were. This is where they are now.
Yeah.
What has changed? And that was intrigue enough for me.
Yeah.
And that's how I reached out to CRZ
Yeah.
and had that exact kind of mindset. Okay, maybe this is it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried everything else. Let's try this.
Yeah. I have a different path because I'm you can call me a cheapskate guy. So because I already paid so much for bike fitting, right?
course,
So
sure.
it got to the point where I can't spend anymore. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I was skeptical, but there's one advice that came from coach that he said something that really changed my perspective. Your heart rate should not be that high.
Yes.
The moment you cross that last threshold, you blow up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That means I had to ride on the biggest ring, smallest car.
Yep.
You know what? It took a while to transit. I went to try. Boy, big difference. Of course, the method was not right, but
Yep.
that mentality shift changed my perspective
Yep.
completely. And that applies to anyone that's young, old, or whatsoever, any of my friends around.
Yep.
I told them this, they tried it. Yes, it was awkward, it was not comfortable, but they were happy.
Yeah.
They were smiling. That's
Yeah.
something I'm like, okay, it makes sense. That's
Well,
why
and
I have to do this.
And the part of this process that you end up recognizing now that's sort of disruptive, right?
Yep.
Is that seems counterintuitive.
Correct.
Because on your bike,
Yep.
when things get difficult, we shift up. We
Correct.
Make it easier.
Make it easier, yeah.
But the problem with that is we also then increase our cadence, you know, in some cases exponentially.
Yep.
And for those of us that are not young spring chickens anymore, that's a hard way to try to ride your bike because
Yeah.
cardiovascular, you know, at 52 years old, let's just use myself as an example. It's harder for me to be able to work at that level, that
Yeah.
load,
Yeah.
and everything else. Now, conversely, going back to what we do now here at
Yeah.
CRZ, that gives me the ability to use very big muscles in my body, generate a lot of torque,
Yep.
bring that cadence down, and now I can still play,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and still have fun.
That's what I actually gotten from the video itself. So I did try and error. To be honest, I think went through like 2 years of his video. Just try and error everything. You know, I do get it right. I do get it as right at some point itself, but it was only when I rode with him one time
Yeah.
at TMC, I'm like, okay, I need to do something.
Yeah.
Because I can follow, but I can't survive. I'm at a
Sure.
point at the end almost like, okay, please stop, stop,
Yeah.
just stop. Yeah, but hey, I'm happier. I mean, that's
course.
more important because at the end of the day, you are picking a sport to distress.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can be competitive, you can whatsoever, but you have to be happy.
Well, and I
Yeah.
love this about your story because you know, having just started this journey, so to speak, 10 months ago or so, but you've made it your passion.
Yep.
And it's kind of like once you get the cycling bug and it becomes your passion,
Yeah.
you look at it completely different.
agree.
And I get it because
Yeah.
you not only want to perform, that's a great part of it,
Yeah.
but you want to enjoy.
Yep.
You know, and you want to do as much of it as you possibly can. You
Yeah.
know, peppered in with our busy work lives and all of those
Yeah.
things. So you know that pursuit is multi justified.
Yeah, it is. It's bike feeding itself is just a quick remedy at the end of the day. It's really a quick remedy to a problem because you may be bike feeded at a situation that you look comfortable at that point in time with all this computerized calculation and things like that. But in the real world, where the real tests come in itself, I think the biomechanics really changed because it's a deeper appreciation and understanding of your body. Where your strength is, how can you get of your weakness with different muscle group and things like that. And more importantly, breathe slower. I think that is really key. A lot of people don't get that right. Once you breathe slower and breathe more meaningfully, you'll be much more happier in the ride.
Well, and I think in your, you know, based on one of the things that you've recognized now in your biomechanics session was you also now learn what other parts of your body do.
Yep.
And what parts of the body you need to be activating
Yeah.
to be more efficient,
Correct.
to be more powerful, but without giving up that breathing, without having to raise your heart rate so high that you feel like you're going to pass out.
Yeah, and I mean, you watch this sometimes from pro riders. Actually, they do show that, but we only see the highlights. You know what I mean? You don't see the actual part of the ride. You know, that actually demonstrate this to be able to ride that efficiently for so long, and they do it day after day.
Yeah.
Right? If they can do it, why can't we? Of course, we are not pros, but can we get at least 75% of that? You know what I mean? But
No, but what I love about that analogy though is that is a very, very common analogy. I see the pros doing it, so why shouldn't I do that? I
Correct.
should be running at 120 RPMs
Yep.
or something like that. So that becomes the goal.
Correct.
Except for most of us, that's an unattainable goal.
Yep.
You know, especially if we're just passionate weekend warriors or, you know, part-time riders.
Yep.
Because to your point, they are riding 6 or 7 hours a day,
Yeah.
6 days a week for weeks and weeks on end.
Yeah.
They've developed an entirely different kind of physiology
Yeah.
to be able to do that, right?
Correct.
And we don't get that. So you know, like me, you watch these videos and everything else.
Yep.
Now, I know you said that you applied as much as you could figure out,
Yep.
right, from
Yep.
the videos and everything. Now you've gone through biomechanic tuning yourself.
Yep.
What do you think the differences are?
at the end of the day, you just feel like there's a professional eye to help you to take a second look at what you think you're doing is efficient, but not to a seasoned pro at the end of the day, right? So what you want is to reach a certain degree of efficiency and harmony itself, and you can't really do it on your own because not with your own eye and stuff, right? So what you think you're doing right may not be what it is when you go through the program. I think the program, very important at the end of the day, is to take your best strength, amplify it, and you need someone to help you with that.
Yep.
Because no matter how I try, no matter how I look at myself in the mirror, recording whatsoever, if there's no one to tell you you're doing something wrong, that's it. You'll keep making the mistake all the way.
Yeah, I agree. I
And
agree.
notice right now is that there is a certain distinction in usage of the muscle itself. Once you get it right, you realize that it's very effortless. So we are used to pumping the power, right? But now it's a circle. That's the difference. Once it's a circle, you feel everything is light. Everything is in place. Your breathing, your cadence, your power, everything is harmony. And that's what I experienced just now when I did the feeding. Because when I used to do my own after looking at a video, yeah, you can get that too. But you can't sustain. You have a problem. You have a big problem because you're just grinding your teeth trying to survive it through. But at that moment, I was doing that for that 30 minutes. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about the pain, anything about stress. It's just efficiency. Yeah. In fact, I was just trying to think, how low can my heart rate go?
That's the competition.
That's the combination. How can
How hard can I work?
Yeah.
And how low can I keep my heart?
how can I not open my mouth to breathe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That was a really good talk. 15
Yeah, no,
minutes.
that's exciting.
Really, really solid. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you very much, Dexter, for sharing your local
All right.
knowledge.
So this view is going to be very, very personal opinion. On that basis, when I do ride with many different groups, I always notice this is that at the end of the ride, they're always struggling. They're doing that, pain, numb, drinking a lot of water and stuff. And I felt that is just a misunderstanding of the cycling principle. If you really understand the mechanics of how it does, if you apply this even just by watching the video, I think you can just improve tremendously, right? Where I'm here today with this session is finding that maybe that 1-2%, right? That's the difference. But for the majority out there, I think they can improve a lot. They don't have to ride against a youngster and just increase the heart rate. I don't think that works. You know what I mean? Because if at the end of the day, if your only enjoyment is to look at Strava and feel good about breaking the records, I think you're not happy.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you can be happy at the moment, but you cannot carry efficiently. You won't look forward to cycling
there's
again.
There's always going to be somebody stronger. There's always going to be somebody faster, lighter, whatever
Yeah.
those things are. So if your metric is always based on a data performance mark,
Yeah.
you're going to be disappointed at some point.
So at some point I changed myself. I told myself it should be a ride whereby at the start I'm happy, I'm efficient, I'm riding fast, I'm riding whatever I want, but at the end I go with a smile and I'm energetic. I think this is what we really need. Yeah. So I think the program can benefit a lot of people. Yeah. Whether it's Singaporean or not, just remember to come with an open mindset. I think it's important because we're so used to looking at pro riders going very fast cadence, and stuff. But those guys are different, like Tom has said. They train a different system. We need to play cheat, right? Let's play cheat the smart way.
True.
Thank you
true.
very much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
No problem.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah.